Hi friend, welcome to my channel, Starchaeology Tarot. I am Desi. I will be reading your cards this month, October. What an honor and a privilege to get to do that for you. How beautiful it is to get to connect with you in this way. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please take a moment and do that now, especially if you are a longtime fan of Starchaeology Tarot, checking out your monthly reading. That would mean a lot to me to have that kind of feedback and support from you. Also, if you have not checked out my Patreon yet, please scroll down and check out the link in the description box below. I have started a Patreon so that I can make this a more sustainable model for me and get to really it's so that I can offer you guys even more extensive and intensive tarot support. So it can be for as little as the cost of a drink a month, that you can support this channel, support these monthly astrological videos, as well as readings for daily card pulls, pick a pile readings, specified readings in the realms of love, career, etc., etc. I also am offering personal, customized tiers at my Patreon for those of you who want opportunities to get personal readings from me on a monthly basis, and there are different price points for that too. So please check that out if you're someone who wants, a monthly personal tarot reading as guidance, whether it's just answering a question a month or getting a full deep dive 60-minute personal tarot reading every month. So far, I have patrons on all three tiers. I'm so grateful to you if you are a patron. It is such a blessing to have you as part of the community over there. And I really, really am excited to see that community grow and hope that you'll join me over there. So please check that out. I do want to take a moment and just comment on the energies right now in October. I know that there are a lot of empathic, a lot of intuitive people tuning in to online tarot, and I'm sure you guys can feel it too. This is a pretty intense time right now. I think there's a massive awakening going on. And a lot of people are experiencing things coming up that need to be healed. So it means even more that you're joining me here at this time. I think these October readings are going to be really important for everyone. If you're looking at your sun sign, that is awesome, but know that these readings are good for your sun sign, moon, rising, and Venus. So if your sun sign isn't quite resonant, definitely check out your other placements. Especially depending on what's going on in your life. If you're having things happening right now a lot in the realm of partnership, friendship, love, check out your Venus. That might be the reading that is more resonant and important for you to hear right now. What resonates is what is meant for you, and what doesn't is not. So take what's yours and leave the rest. This is a low stakes situation, and I'm just hoping that I can offer you a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance, even if it's just a tiny little tidbit that does the trick. Okay, Virgo, enough chit chat. Let's jump into your October reading. Virgo, you're experiencing some conflict right now. It's either conflict with other people or conflict within yourself, or maybe just even conflict in the world that is affecting your sensitive heart. I say that because we have the Daughter of Cups here, and the Five of Wands and the Ace of Swords as the outcome. Something is definitely affecting you, and I think it's affecting your, what you imagine and then how you are perceiving and interacting with reality. Daughter of Cups comes out sometimes when we have a fantasy world that is richer than our physical world. And there is power in that, but that power remains only potential if we don't actually take action, if it just remains in the land of potential. I also see, though, that there could be things here in this fantasy land that maybe are somehow connected to this conflict for you, this inner conflict or this conflict with others. There's a lot of maybe imagined scenarios, the same way that, some of you may be having like good imagined scenarios that are keeping you in this fantasy land, more invested in this fantasy land than real life. Others of you are having conflict that is making you live in scenarios, imagined scenarios that are not pleasant, that are actually heightened versions of the conflict you maybe already are feeling with other people or with yourself or in the world. And that's also not that great. That's also definitely a challenge. That's tough to deal with. I'm also seeing others of you are having a specific problem or conflict with a person in your life who is very emotional, sensitive, and maybe even this is a child, because this is a page card. This Daughter of Cups is really Page of Cups. This could be someone who you think of like emotionally, whether they are an actual child or emotionally are a child. Like when you deal with this person, who you're really dealing with is their inner child who never really grew up. Or for whatever reason, they are emotionally stunted in this one area of their life. And so it's always the inner child that's unhealed that you end up dealing with. And so that's for some of you that the problem is actually with someone else. For others of you, it's that sensitive part of yourself that you are struggling with that is creating these emotional scenarios, this emotional world that is a lot richer than real life and is very much connected to the conflict you're experiencing, or it's creating further conflict for you, or both. What do we do about this? So really the advice here is in this Five of Wands, which is about remembering that this conflict is almost like kids playing with sticks. This is not conflict that should make or break you. And part of this could be you taking this far too seriously, the conflict far too seriously, because you are so sensitive and emotionally intelligent and thoughtful and empathic, Virgo. So that may be causing you to take this conflict, internalize it, and feel burdened by it emotionally in a way that you really don't need to be. It's almost like the advice here is to it's funny, this is really similar to Taurus's reading, but bring a more light approach to this. Like, see this for what it is, which is, it might look like really super serious. Oh, you're having problems with work. It's a bunch of men in suits yelling at each other, but really it's their kids in suits. It's just like not. It's a bunch of kids shouting about what they want and fighting, and we are all children, really, in the spiritual sense, through spiritual eyes. We're all children here learning, no matter how old you are. So I think a big thing to remember, advice-wise, is to see this conflict almost as training ground. See this conflict as a way of figuring out what is important to you and what isn't, because you only figure that out when you experience conflict in yourself or with others. Conflict can help you. It can help distill what is important for you. It can help distill your beliefs, your values, your morals, your ethics, your priorities. And that's a gift. That's a gift to get to figure that out. When we are in an echo chamber, we don't have a choice, because what happens is we become indoctrinated, or we absorb like sponges just what are other people's beliefs, what are other people's values and priorities. And without that conflict, when no one is speaking out or questioning or making you defend your position, then we're not being challenged in any way, and our opinions, our beliefs, our values, our priorities are much less earned, and we can't really be sure that they are even truly ours. So see this conflict that you're feeling as this opportunity, Virgo, to really define yourself. This is also a chance to just be like, oh, everyone's going to say what they believe. Well, I'm going to say what I believe, and I'm going to stand my ground. And that can be a fun and liberating experience if you let it be. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to shrink away from this conflict and confrontation, experience. I'm so afraid of confrontation. This is a horrible experience for me because I believe something different. No, embrace that. In fact, the difference in what you believe might not only be crucial in defining yourself, but also in helping to define and refine others' beliefs around you, others' ideas around you. And that's the beauty of conflict. That is the gift of conflict. All of this, if you're able to navigate that, Virgo, all of this leads to mental clarity like you haven't experienced this month. It leads to a new idea, a strong decision that you make, the fog lifting, and just having a sort of mental clarity that really empowers you and gives you a sort of new beginning moving forward. If there's an area of your life where you feel confused right now, this could be the area of your life where that fog is clearing. You might come out of October being very certain about a decision that you want to make, but that decision was earned because you confronted conflict. You tested how strong that decision was against the ideas of others or against alternative decisions. Same with a belief system. You might emerge in October with a new belief system. And that belief system also was earned because you tested it against other belief systems, and it withstood the pressure that conflict put on it. If it fell, if it weakened, then that's not your belief system. Unless ego and pride gets in the way, then we adopt belief systems that actually aren't really earned, but we're holding on to those belief systems for other reasons, not really reason that is aligned with truth or with our authentic ethics and morals and values. So this is a real chance for you to come away from this month feeling super empowered, Virgo, super certain in yourself, in what is important to you and what you believe. And I think it's empowering you moving forward in some sort of decision, some sort of area in your life, to have mental clarity where you haven't before. And that's the beginning of something else. And we'll see what your November reading says about that, because that new beginning, it's opening a door to a new beginning in your life. And I wonder where that new beginning is actually taking place. If you have some ideas, I'd love to hear from you. So feel free to open up in the comments below. It would make my day. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please consider doing so. And definitely consider becoming a patron if you want to throw a few dollars at me every month to help support this work that I'm doing, as well as a growing body of work, way more types of tarot readings, more in-depth tarot readings, more personalized, customized tarot readings over on Patreon. Please support if you feel so inclined. I love you. I'm rooting for you, Virgo, and I'll see you next time.